to earn the lead, but it worries me. You know, you look at the group games. Croatia played really well for 10 minutes, went 1-0 up, didn't see much more. Scotland game, didn't really see him. Czech Republic played well for 10 minutes, hit the post, went 1-0 up, didn't see much more. And this game seems to be going that way. They're dominating possession, they've got the lion's share of the possession. It's attack versus defence, Richard, it really is. At times it looks too easy for them, it looks slow, it looks methodical. They're in a really comfortable position, but I just worry that it's going to go 60, 70 minutes and they're not going to make any more of the lead that they've got. Because the longer this game goes at 1-0, the more chance the Ukraine have got.
Which is true, Jan, but have the Ukraine got enough when we get to that point to actually do something about it?
But to be honest, when they got injured at the back and they went to back four and three midfielders and three strikers, they were better. They created a couple of chances. I think a couple of them were from England mistakes. They've been better, they've been more dangerous. A couple of opportunities, I couldn't call clear opportunities, but they're starting to be a little bit more dangerous.
I think it was a very boring game to watch. Sorry.
Yes.
There were moments that I looked at it and I said to myself, okay, what I'm looking at. I think that England doesn't need to. You can see they are in a driving seat. Ukraine didn't hurt them really. You know, they couldn't create a lot. So they're just passing the ball, hoping that maybe Sterling does something. I think he's the only one who creates something. So therefore, we have to wait how the Ukrainians come out of the dressing room, because this hasn't been enough.
No, do you know what I think, guys? I think both coaches will be sitting in thinking both game plans are still in situ right now for me. For England, fast start, get a goal, happy. They'd be happy with that. For Ukraine and Shevchenko, I think to be in the game, to still be in the game with half an hour to go, 25 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go, they then have a chance. I think they then have a chance. They then can take a risk or two. So at 1-0 down, very much in the game. So I don't think there'll be too much panic in any dressing room. I don't think either coach will be, we've got to get back. I don't think Shevchenko will be rushing to change things right now. The main thing will be don't concede another. I think England might come at them again, second half early, and try and get a second goal. But if they don't, then we've seen England in the games that you've talked about, Robbo. You know, they get a bit edgy at the end when they're only 1-0 up, and rightly so. And they might just get edgy again tonight.
Just back on the goal, Robbo. The keeper didn't cover himself in glory, did he?
Yeah, it's a difficult one for him. You look at it when the ball comes through, you're thinking, where's the goalkeeper, where's the goalkeeper? And Harry Kane has an easy opportunity. Listen, it's a fantastic finish what he does. He lifts it over him. But when the initial ball comes through from Sterling, I think his starting position is a little bit deep, and he kind of stops and judders, where actually if he goes and throws himself at the ball, he creates Kane a problem. It's a great finish. From an England point of view, it's a fantastic goal. A, it's a brilliant ball from Sterling, and B, that's a finish from a striker that's lacking form and struggling for goals. That goal against Germany's done him the world of good. From an England point of view, it was a brilliant goal. But like Andy said, you just worry that they're not building on it. It's slow, it's methodical, it's pedestrian-like. They're winning, fantastic news, but win and convince us with a win. Go and play well and win. They're yet to do that in this tournament.
But they are, as you say, winning by 1-0. Harry Kane's goal separates the two teams. The Ukraine have 45 minutes to do something about this. Like Andy said, stay in it until around about the hour mark, then maybe. And England might just start to get a little nervous, although comfortably in control at the moment. And halfway towards a semi-final date against Denmark at Wembley. Both countries will feel we've got a real chance here. No reason why the Danes shouldn't be thinking that way as well, surely.
Well, Denmark will fancy a chance, so will Spain. Spain will fancy a chance against it. I think all four will think they can win the semi-final, yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's somebody who you would say they'll definitely beat them. I don't think there is anyway.
I don't think there's a clear favourite for the tournament other than England because of the home advantage. I think you look at all four there and you quite rightly say any one of those four is capable of winning that tournament. You look at England's point of view, they've got home advantage, semi-final at Wembley, final at Wembley. This is their best opportunity. After tonight's performance, this is their best opportunity to win a tournament.
Italy feels also, in how they performed, they look also at themselves as, we have a big chance. Of course, the Italians, they always in their defence, and they with their feet on the ground. But I think that, for me, still the Italians are the favourites for the football that they showed.
My call is that I said yesterday that the winner between Belgium and Italy will win the tournament. We'll see. I pay lunch to everyone.
No, I want to buy you lunch.
No, it would be fantastic. I think that the way the Italians played, it's almost like you want to be rewarded for that.
They've been a breath of fresh air. It's been very un-Italian-like, hasn't it, in many ways?
Yeah.
But forgive me, Richard, if I stop you.
Jan, you have nothing to be forgiven for.
What I liked about the Italian team, not only the way they play, because I think this has been acknowledged by everyone, but I think I've seen a lot of things about the group, about the desire, about the compactness of the group. Many things I've seen that they give me a lot of hope.
You sound surprised at what they've done at this tournament.
Yeah.
Why are you? Bearing in mind they've come into it with an extraordinarily long unbeaten record. They've been setting markers all the way along the line. The Italians must have been aware that they've got a very good team in the making, surely.
Yeah. No, actually, we are aware. We were aware of the results that the national team with Mancini were achieving. But honestly, in a big tournament like this, I was honest. I'm very surprised to see Italy playing this way. I wasn't able to think that this team was capable of playing this type of football. To be honest, I knew that we were able to get results because the numbers were good, but to play this way and get the results again, I didn't think we were able to do that.
Okay, so England win tonight by 4-0. Quite a statement ahead of a semi-final against Denmark. It's Italy, Spain. How poor the Ukrainians were.
You can only beat what's in front of you. We say that so often, but the performance was there tonight for England. Yet another clean sheet. It's the 5th clean sheet. The defence looks solid. They're keeping clean sheets. They've lacked a spark going forward in this tournament, apart from when Grealish has come on against Germany. They look good. They look creative then. They looked good tonight. They beat what was in front of them. They scored goals. The performance was there. You can get excited as an England fan tonight. There's not a lot to criticise from that performance tonight. They've got a clean sheet. They've scored 4 goals and they've played well. They're in the semi-final of a tournament off the back of 2 fantastic wins against the Germany and Ukraine. Scored 6 goals, kept 2 clean sheets. I'm delighted with the way that they're playing at the moment, Richard. Half-time, I was sceptical because I thought, can they go on again? They've got the 1-0. Can they light the spark? Can these front players excite us like we've been waiting for them to do the whole tournament? And they've answered the question in the second half. The Ukraine sat deep. They took the wind out of them. First minute in the second half when Maguire got his goal. But then they built on that. They didn't just pass the ball about, keep possession. They kept going. They scored more goals. There's nothing more you can ask from the team tonight.
Do you know what he's done well, Richard? We have to give people credit when credit is due. He's almost like, for me, Gareth Southgate in this tournament. We all sat here and talked, certainly Rob was here with Jason, you and I, at the early end in Jan even, and we kind of thought, does he know his best team? We debated that 3 weeks ago.
No.
I don't think he picks a best team. You know what he seemed to have done to me? Is he's looked at his opponents and he's picked a team accordingly. He looked at let's take the German game. He looked at their strengths. They play 3-4-3. The wing backs were a real problem. He matched up against them well, almost went man for man, cancelled them out, sacrificed a creative player to bring in an extra defender. Worked wonderfully. Tonight, he knows he's better than Ukraine. So he goes back to a back 4, plays 4-3-3, and he gets Mount in the side. An extra one. So they've got 4 creative players. What will be interesting for me is the next game against the Danes. The Danes play 3 at the back as well. They're a much better team, I think, than Ukraine. So does he feel that we're better than Denmark, so I'm going to pick my team?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to match Denmark?
I think he's going to do the same.
What, match them?
Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
I think it worked for him.
But it worked in Germany.
That is the point.
Are Denmark as good as Germany?
Now, I think the thing is you can't underestimate them.
I know.
I think they have a source from the accident what happened in the beginning, and they digging out of this force, and they play every game they play better. And I think that is something powerful, and I think that is something to fear. And therefore, I think that England has to be really, really, really top in order to beat them.
Great credit to Gareth Southgate, as you say, but someone in the England camp who hasn't had too many mentions and should. Steve Holland, who's been absolutely terrific behind the scenes for Gareth Southgate. Here is Harry Maguire.
Harry, be such a good feeling, surely, for you guys tonight, back-to-back semi-finals at a major tournament.
No, it's a great feeling. Back-to-back semi-finals at a major tournament is a great achievement, but like, I don't want to be a party pooper, but we don't stop here. We've got another big game coming up, and we want to go further this time than we did at the World Cup. So, no, of course, it's a great feeling to win here, and the way that we've done it as well shows the big progress that we're making as a country. So, no, long may the improvement continue, and like I say, we've got another big one coming up.
The confidence is there, though, and as you say, you seem to be players who know you're capable of going all the way.
Yeah, we have great belief in the dressing room. I think the first half was tough. We obviously got the early goal, what we wanted, and they caused a few problems with the shape, and they changed it a few times in the first half. But I think the second goal settled us down a lot, and then from then on we controlled the game really well and got the third and fourth, which I think we deserved on the night. So no, it was an impressive performance in the end. And listen, we've got now rest, recover, and we've got another big one coming up.
Do you soak it all in, even though you've got Denmark coming up? Do you give yourself to soak it all in?
I think it's hard to soak it all in when, like I said, you've got another big one coming up. You know who you're playing and when you're playing them. So I think the dressing room will be a great atmosphere in there tonight. But then tomorrow morning we'll wake up and we'll be focused again, because this group of players aren't settling for a semi-final. We want to go further. So like I said, we've got to now rest, recover, and we've got another big one.
And Harry, I was behind the goal when you scored. The thud when the ball connected with your head, it was so loud. You gave it some real power.
Yeah, I think we spoke about before the game that we needed to be better on attacking set plays. We haven't scored one in this tournament yet, so we've got two tonight from myself and Jordan. So no, it was a great ball from Luke, and I got a great connection on it, and it was always ending up in the back of the net, that connection from that distance. But it's nice to chip in with a goal, but more importantly, the victory.
Well done. Thank you very much.
Cheers, thank you.
Yes, very well done. England 4-0 winners tonight against the Ukraine. Got the early start that Andy talked about. The Ukraine needed to get to 20 minutes, 25 minutes and not concede. Didn't happen. Got the early goal at the start of the second half, and really from that point, it was good night, wasn't it?
I think,
No,
yeah. Go.
Sorry, no, I think what was Ruby saying before is very important. To be able to get to this stage and not concede a goal is already a big achievement, and that is a very, very strong starting point, because to win, I mean, we were talking about before about that with Wenger. If you cannot defend well, if you're not strong defensively, you're not going to win. So this is a very base point for them. On top of that, today they scored a lot of goals. So that is something that has to be taken into account positively.
Part of the World Cup success was the set plays, and we saw that again tonight. The goals from set plays, the organisation, the delivery.
That's a great header, isn't it?
It's a fantastic header, and especially the timing of the game as well, to come out just after half time.
Yeah, this was game over. You look at the time and the clock, we're not even 5 minutes into the second half, and already England have plundered a couple of goals. And you could just look at the yellow shirts. Just heads went. Gone.
You see the fragility of the defense. The way the defender was very not good enough today, unfortunately.
Kane's come alive at Sanko tonight. Many online are saying he's had a really good game. But is it the case that Carrie mentioned it earlier, Carrie Brown, that Raheem Sterling is currently England's most influential player at this tournament?
Yep. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be far off. I think with his goals and his contribution tonight, I think throughout the tournament it was uncertain whether he would start the tournament coming into the first game due to his lack of football at the end of the season at Manchester City. But he answered a lot of questions in the first games with his goals, his performances, and I think he has been their best player. Yeah, I do.
I think he's fit because he didn't play his matches.
Yeah.
And I think you see also the freshness. He goes on. He goes to you. The first part was world class. Sorry, that's vision. And I think that Kane was also like, I got it.
Yeah.
And he poked it in. And I think that it's nice to see players take the team by the hand. And that's what England needed, because if you see the block from the back, it's all solid. There's no creativity in it. So it has to come from somebody up front.
It does, and that's where it comes from. I mean, there's nothing defenders hate more than people who run at them with pace and control of a football. It's the hardest thing to cope with. That's why I think Sanko was picked tonight to run at defenders, and that's why Raheem causes so many problems. Even against the Germans, if you look at the first goal, the way he came in from that right-hand side and just busts past 2 or 3 players, all of a sudden, if you can get players to do that, it's amazing how if you can get past that first challenge or two, it opens up for you all of a sudden, and it did for England in many occasions.
You made that.
And they
point.
have those players.
You made that point right at the beginning of this tournament about England and the selection. Why Sterling plays? Why not Mount, Grealish, and Foden that everybody wants to play? But you made the point about stretching the pitch, running in behind, and that's clearly been a thought of Gareth Southgate's, because he's played Sancho, he's played Saka, and he's played Sterling in that position, rather than the 3 probably that were in form, the best players. He's got somebody who'll stretch the pitch wide, who'll run in behind Harry Kane and put defenders on the back foot.
Arsene Wenger's been with our Arabic colleagues all evening. I'll be fascinated to hear what he's made of all of this.
Yes, of course. We scored 3 goals on crosses, and sometimes small things cause big impact. Certainly the fact that Ukraine lost the centre back in the first half had an impact on the goals they conceded in the second half, because they didn't even jump on the crosses. They're free headers, and it's not expected at that level. There was nobody at the back who organised this defence, and they conceded 3 poor goals. Like you said, the second goal killed the game. We knew at half-time if England scores a second goal, bye-bye. And that's what happened after. It was became an easy game for England, and they did it well. What was important for me tonight, for them, is that they didn't concede a goal. Because as long as you don't concede a goal, the team focuses on defending well, And that really will be an important quality to go to the final and to win it.